Hey everyone, this is Hassan. So today I'm going to discuss with you how to draw hands from imagination.
The thing about drawing hands is like it's made out of a rectangular box. But this rectangular box is not at all stiff. It is actually very flexible, kind of a sponge. So if you're going to, let's say, draw a hand pose which is in which your palm is going to be bent in and having a curve, so you need to portray that kind of curve happening in your sketch as well. So let's say I draw this, and the thumb has its separate shape coming out, so you need to portray that as well. And then you can continue drawing the cylindrical form for your thumb and fingers. So let's say this is going to be joined like that. You draw another cylindrical form for fingers, another cylindrical form. So as you know, it's divided into three parts: our fingers, one big and then two smaller, and then you can play with that. So here you can see it's like a nice structure, and you can draw the other overlapping form of fingers as well. And you have your knuckles here, so you can draw literally like this kind of shape. Can you see that? So it's very reminiscent, like very look alike of our knuckles shape. And if you draw on the 3D plane, it will actually look similar. So what you can do next, like hinting a little bit of the arm as well. Let me just erase out this box because it's in a way. Arm is also cylindrical, but it's like attached to a rectangular shape, like I discussed in the last class as well. It's something like that. Your wrist is like rectangle shape, and it's morphing into a cylindrical form, something like that. So if I'm drawing in this angle, so I can draw this rectangular shape here, and then try to draw the other part of the arm like that. And I know there is another hinge or bump of our this bone. Can you see that? So I can indicate that as well. But you can see these all things are done with a very basic form. So dividing the anatomy into very basic and primary form is really helpful. So once you have done that, you can go over with your kneaded eraser or your normal eraser and erase them out very lightly, so you have the underneath structure of your drawing. Then comes your line art skills. And believe me, I always say you can do all of this in your brain without drawing this structure on paper. So once you have this structure done, what you can do, you can play with your line art skill. What I mean by that, like this line art skill is there when we draw from life, making the line with variation of the lines with and overlapping lines to depict the form. As you can see, I'm here trying to depict this top area as well with the help of cross hatching and the tension in the skin. And then I can go over. It's just like wrapping out the muscles, like there are cushions of muscles in our hand, on the back side of our hand. So you can just take reference from your own hand as well. I think that's the best practice. My teacher used to say drawing hands is really important because all of your human anatomy thing, like whatever we have going on in our body, it's there on hands as well. So if you practice drawing hands, you are actually practicing your whole anatomy. So you can see I easily done that. But sometimes when we're drawing character and we have a pose, let's say I have this character standing here, and then his hands is coming towards us. So what I usually do, as this hand is very small, we can't bear, like we can't see what's happening in terms of right now in the pose, and obviously we can't add details at the beginning. But what I really like to do is like gesture, and gesture is really important thing. It's the key for your drawing. So as you can see, I try to gesturize the shape of hand, like it's kind of a glove, or even if it's open, the fingers are open. What I can do is like I can do something like that, two fingers join maybe, and then two fingers like that as well. So it's kind of a gesture thing, but at the same time I know it is there, because at this smaller level there is no need to add full details like that. It's not going to be balanced, but this thing is going to be translate in your sketches. For example, I know the knuckles are going to be here. This is going to be division of the fingers, because I know there are some gaps in between. Enhancing them, like in the way of drawing oval, it's really helpful. So drawing hands from imagination is really depending on the shape design. So let's say a hand holding a pen, and like this way, and you're looking from the forward angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just draw the gesture, like overall shape of the hand. Like I know this back side of the hand is going to be bent up, the fingers are going to be coming out, so there will be gap where which we have the pen in it, and the finger is going to be wrapping around the hand, let's say something like that. The angle of the pen, try to match here, and then another finger here, and then other fingers are going to be inside. So this rectangle shape is actually very flexible. It's like a sponge. It's like a foam kind of thing. So it bends, twists, and turn, but it's only bent towards inside. It can't be bended, like you can see. It cannot be bended other way. So there is only a concave curve inside in your hand, and then you can indicate the landing marks of the hand, like those shapes which identify the fingers and hand in the hand. The shapes are like that. It's thin and thick, something like a Voldemort wand. That's a really bad example. It's kind of a witch finger, but it's actually like that. There is a circular kind of thing happening in our hand. And the wrong thing about drawing finger, as you can see here, is drawing the hump, another hump at the bottom. So it's actually hump, and then there is a at the bottom there is a this deep curve happening here, another curve on the top, and there will be some cross sections of lines going on here. Here what's happening, it's nice to have a look at that from the top. It can be possible, like if you're looking at from the top, but from the side view, this is what is happening in our hand, in our fingers. So right now we are looking at kind of a top view, so that's why we are taking advantage of this method. Like there's two brackets and then cylindrical form. Again, two brackets, cylindrical form. And then that's a really weird pose to hold the hand, hold the pencil. That's why it's really good to take reference. Okay, so that's what I usually do. I always go for the gesture in the hands, like how can I capture the whole shape, and the basic anatomy of a hand is like that. There is this flexible sponge kind of material which is attached to another flexible thing, and then you have this cylindrical form of our fingers extruding out, which are cylindrical shape, and then it's attached to another rectangular shape back, which is transformed into the cylindrical shape for the arm. And then you can wrap around the anatomical things like knuckles, like your fingers are going to be a little bit like that, and you can add the details. But this thing, understanding this thing, is allow you to create gestures like hands going this way, so like something like casting pose or magic casting pose, like some twinkling happening here, so sparkling happening here. So you can do the same thing with this understanding. So once you have understanding of shapes for the hands, how you're going to join them, what kind of shapes are going to happen, this is, see, I can imagine this sponge kind of shape for the palm is actually bending this way, and the fingers are coming out of here, and the thumb area is actually there, and then you have the rectangle shape for the rest of the arm. So that's what I try to cover in today's lesson, and I'm going to create some more hands here in a time lapse. Hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.